Hi, and welcome back to Animation Collab, where I experiment with new techniques in my animation laboratory in collaboration with other content creators. If you haven't already, please subscribe if you you'd like to support me. I live stream every Tuesday and Friday, unless something comes up and I have to skip it like this Tuesday, but I'm here today and I hope you'll enjoy this stream. I'll be continuing the collaboration with Andy, who you can find on YouTube under ROT169, and he does cybersecurity videos, and we've been collaborating on the past few streams on a upcoming video of his that he would like my help on, and I've been so far pulling together graphics and putting together a storyboard for this animation. We're still in the storyboarding phase. The words. Hi Simon, welcome to the stream. So yeah, today I'm going to continue the storyboard, hopefully get to the final scene. Cannot promise, but I'll do my best. And as per my calculation for how long this is going to take before I start animating, it'll probably be this stream and one more stream for the design stage. Then there'll probably be another stream just to set up everything, set up all the files, and then we can start animating. So let's get started. I will open up the Illustrator file. Give me a second. Okay, just want to adjust my screen. Hopefully you can see everything okay. All right, here we go. I think I can move my camera down just a smidge. Okay, so I think I can make my window a little bigger too. Hopefully there's not too much delay with audio and video, since OBS is showing me a little bit of dropped frames. Whoops, okay. They don't want to adjust together, so I'm gonna have to force them. Come on, OBS, get smaller. Okay, there we go. Yeah. All right. So, this is the storyboard we have so far. Lots of little scenes here. As I'm looking at it, I really like what we came up with in the last stream with this little circle thing. I'm gonna have to get back to this at some point and see what Andy thinks, because he did want this sort of separation screen happening here. Okay, great. That's awesome. Thanks for the feedback, Simon. Okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to find out, because he's talking about zoom of the lateral movement slide to show a big screen, multiple screens being used for command and control. Perhaps multiple screens like the programming undraw graphic. So there's something that Andy is clearly thinking of that I'm not sure about. So we're gonna have to revisit how this is going to look. So far, I really like this look. Maybe we can then just say that instead of just one little bubble, there'll be multiple to, you know, show this sort of multi-attack thing happening. Maybe it'll be something like that. We'll see what Andy has to say about that. Until then, I'll keep it this way, and then we can make changes to that. Now, at this point, we want exfiltration. So basically, then they'll use an exfiltration technique, and let's find out what that is, in order to extract that information out of a network in such a way that doesn't get blocked by security controls. Okay, so our system is currently... What's our system? Our system is essentially, well, this is the system, right? This is what we've established visually to be the system. So now out of this system, the data is being taken away. So I guess we can actually, I think we can work with this graphic here. So let's work with this graphic, and I'll take it from this, put it here, and then I'll find out what the size of this one is, and I'll just copy paste the size, and I'm gonna scale it from the bottom. And now we have this smaller so that we have enough space for the text here. And now basically what is happening is these files have all arrived in the folder that is now being taken away out of the system. So I think what we can do is I can just remove, actually no, I don't want to remove these files. You know what I'm going to do? I want the files to appear the same way as we had them in the first storyboard. This is exactly what I want. So I'm just going to grab this and put it over here. And now I want... first of all, I want it inside this group. So I'll just pull it into that group. I'll align it with this folder. And I'll make it approximately the same size. Let's see how big this folder is. I guess I can just take the width of the folder because it's the widest thing in that graphic and in this graphic too. And this time I want to scale it from the right bottom point. So I'm clicking. Can you see that? No, you can't see that. Okay. So I'm currently, I'll just pull down Illustrator so you can see. I'm clicking on this, what is it called? A reference point. So I can set the reference point because I've already aligned it with the bottom and the right of this other graphic. I don't want it to scale from the center because then I'll have to realign it. So since I've already aligned it, I can put the reference point to the bottom right, and then I'll input the size of the original folder that I had, and I'll reshape this. Oops. Okay. OBS is giving me trouble again that it doesn't want to get smaller than this size, but this is small enough, I guess. Okay. And so now I have, oh, come on. Now I have what I wanted, and I can get rid of all the other files and the original folder from that circle, because now we have the files. And what I actually want to do is I want to take the files out, and let's see, you know what, I'm gonna use this circle, this ellipse, and I'm just gonna put it here. Yep. And then I'm going to remove, or I can actually, you know what, I'm going to align it with this. I'm going to align it vertically. Actually, no, I've changed my mind. What I would like to do is I'd like to have this anchor point so that I can remove the rest of this circle. This should be in the center. And then I can move this down a little bit. And then I can remove all the other anchor points, and I don't have to create wonky lines. I have a nicely curved line, and I'm just gonna crop it. So I want it to be until like here, probably. Something like that. And then I can remove the rest. So it's really nice to work with shapes when you have the option. That way the curves always look really nice. Actually, you know what? Maybe I do want it out more. That way I can just maybe also visualize a little bit more clearly that this is now leaving the center. But I want to align it with this. So I want to vertically align that. Maybe I want it a little Hi there. Thanks for joining the stream. Good to see you. Okay, so maybe like here, and then I want this to be that blue line again. So I want this to be blue because now it's leaving the premises, so to speak. I mean, it's kind of metaphorically and maybe not physically, because these are, you know, digital files. We're most likely talking about digital files and credentials, but it's still leaving the premises, technically. So, what is this? Ah, yeah, that's the rest of the dots. Okay. So, I'm going to close these groups. And now I can hide that. So, now the files were collected here. They were taken out of here. And then what happens? Let's have a look. So basically the same thing. In order to extract the information out of a network in such a way that doesn't get blocked by security controls. So basically, and then there's impact. Okay, so the files are leaving. So I did have this metaphor of a door before in the first storyboard. I'm gonna snack a little bit while we're talking. Helps me think. So we do have this metaphor here with the code being written, basically the server being assembled with the information that the hackers are retrieving, that they are doing with the reconnaissance. They are developing the resources, then they are writing the code, then they are sending the bug out to somebody to open it, mostly through spam emails. And then we have this like door that opens through the email and the bug crawls out and the hack gets executed, or the malware gets executed in this case. So I wonder if we can have, again, some sort of metaphor here with the door. Okay, so what I want to do is I definitely want to keep this. And I want to get rid of this server because now it's all about that these files are leaving. They're leaving the premises. I wonder, what can we do with these files? Maybe... Okay, I have an idea. Maybe it can wrap itself up into... Maybe the files just disappear. And then the... I do want to show that they are leaving the premises, so to speak. Maybe we can just have an invisible door. So, okay, how about this? I'll take that... I'll just take this. I'll just copy that. And we'll have this like fake door here. And I want it to be the other way around. Transform. Reflect. Okay. And I want it to be nothing first. Okay, so first we don't see it. Wait, is this... It's not grouped. Okay, I'm gonna group that first. Copy it. I'm gonna move it here. And I want it to be white because it's like opening out of nowhere, let's say. So we're going for white, and I don't want any of these objects. So now I can remove this whole thing, and this will just have the outline. God, I have so many duplicates of that. And now I'm gonna mask it. So let's say I want, come on. Oh, it doesn't have a fill. Okay, I want the fill to be white then. Okay, and then I'm gonna mask it. Maybe like this. And no fill, no line, that is. And make clipping mask. Oh, the other way around. Okay. Just thinking of it the wrong way. I want to see... What do I want to see? I want to see this. And I want to see this and this. Wait. Like, maybe something like this. And like that. Okay. Clipping mask. Okay, so now it like appears that this line is getting drawn on in the middle of nowhere, and I want also these documents to kind of disappear inside of this folder. So actually let's have this one be gone, and then these are like moving in. And then in this next frame, we'll just have this, and it's going through the door. It's leaving. And maybe we can just center that. No. Let's have it there. So basically, the files are leaving the premises. The files are like hiding themselves in the folder, and then the door appears, and then they are leaving. Something like that. I think that works well enough. And then we have exfiltration, without tripping any monitoring systems or alarms. Okay. Some attackers are careless about stealing information and instead want to deliver a more destructive effect. And screen display shows malicious user deleting files and or running some code which causes the screen to crack and burn. Yeah, I think crack and burn is better. So I think at this point we'll just have this again. So this is basically the disappearing screen. After the file disappeared, the door closes and disappears itself. So it kind of is like, oh, I was never there. Tripping no alarms without tripping any monitoring alarms. I think that's a good metaphor for that. Okay. And the next one, some attackers. Okay, so now we need the impact. I wonder if I can bring back the bug. So let's say we've got the screen here. And we don't have anything on the screen. But we can have the bug. We can have this little bug. We can have a bunch of these bugs. And they're just crawling across the screen while the screen slowly cracks. It's pretty big. And then let's have these guys just like kind of crawling over this screen. Something like this. Maybe they have to be smaller, I don't know. Let's maybe make them smaller. I want them to start spreading across the screen, so I guess I need to spread them just a little bit more. So let's say this is what happens, and there's like less on this one. There's more on this one. And the screen can crack. Okay, let's do like a crack here. And let's make that look like this. Whoa, that's an intense crack. Maybe I won't close this one, so... That's an extreme crack. Whoa. I'll just make it a little less intense. And maybe the crack should actually be where the bugs already are. So maybe it cracks here. Actually, I prefer the crack from the top, so... And then this one, actually I should probably put that inside of this design so it's nicely grouped with everything. And then I should put it here too. And then maybe we'll add a smaller crack down here. And then maybe at the end it's on fire. Gonna have a look on Undraw if I can find. Have I tried cavalry yet? No. I've been meaning to for so long, but I haven't gotten around to doing that. Have you tried it yet? There is no fire illustration. Oh, there is one. Okay, so I don't have to create fire. I can just use this fire illustration. So for those of you who don't know, what I'm doing here is I'm using illustrations from Undraw to create the storyboard for Andy. So these are those illustrations. Yeah, I can imagine learning Houdini is pretty intense. I never learned it myself. When I said goodbye to Maya, I was like, no thank you. No thank you to compositing and 3D. I'm out. What is this? Is that just a random script lying here? Yep, okay, let's get rid of that. Weird. Okay, so now it's on fire as well. And the fire is blue, which is excellent. How many bits of fire should I add? Yes, let's just add this one for now. And I want it to be grouped with the screen. Yeah, I've done a little bit of Cinema 4D and it's definitely way easier than Maya, but I can't get my head around 3D. It's just not something I enjoy, so I've moved away from 3D basically. I've given up. There is so much to learn in the 2D space, so I'm pretty content with learning more about 2D. Should I put a flame inside the computer as well? Maybe just like a small flame. The whole thing is burning! Ah! Okay. Now, as you can see, there's lots of different techniques. Okay, so we actually got to the end of the storyboard because at this point we are looking at the framework again, and I'll be using this same design again for the framework. So, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at where we got. We've got this one. Then we're looking at it closer. So what's happening here? I think we already did this. Yep. And then it's like getting to the target. Then we're zooming in, some of the dots disappear. It's not very visible that we're zooming in. Is this... Yeah, I guess that's... I don't need to make this smaller actually, because I've decided to do this differently. So I'm actually not making it smaller. What's the size of this? Make it the same size. Okay, so now I just want this file to be in here. And let's have a look what it looks like in the next one. So it sits a little higher. So I'm just gonna make it go higher. Looks something like this. Yeah, close enough. Then this file is leaving, exfiltration, then the door appears, the files ship away, and then actually I can probably make it more clearer, make it clearer that this appears. So maybe I'll make it come from the bottom of the screen. And then it comes onto the screen. And the whole thing is set on fire. And then we're at the end scene. Okay, that's good. I like that. There's just a few things I'd like to change now. I would like to make this a little nicer. Mainly this screen and this screen to fit better together. So I think what I would like is that this screen is actually on here already and it's not a different screen. So many groups. Okay. So I want this to be that wide. And I want this to be centered with... Why is it not centering? That's weird. Oh, okay, so that wasn't centered in the beginning, I guess. Okay. So I want this above. I want this. Let me think. I don't want this one. And also from here, I don't want to see this yet. And I don't want to see this at all for now. And what is this tiny mouse? Don't want the tiny mouse. Alright, so we're here. And that also means that I want the ladder on this side instead of the other side. And at this point we don't see... Alright, I should probably get this other lock on here as well. So let's have a look. So basically I'm now constructing the final scene of this lock screen axis thing. So I want all of the objects to be on here as they would appear on the last screen. I'm just going to hide them so that whichever one of these assets I take to then put in my scene file, I don't have to grab a specific one of these. They're all going to be the same with just stuff hidden away. So basically, I want 2 of these locks next to each other. And one is going to be... I have too many of these weird graphic styles. So basically, I want one of these to be the lighter black on the inside, which means this needs to be smaller. Oh, no. Smaller in this sense. Okay, now I guess I need to adjust the spacing a little bit. So the reason why this one is here is because it's centered with this, which is fine. But that means I should probably have the same spacing between that and that. No, that's fine, but then this one needs to be shorter to allow for... I can't decide if I want this to be this wide or if I want it to be this wide, but I should decide for one of them to create a bit of unified design so the spaces aren't all random. Wait. Also, I probably want this space to be the same so that we are working from some sort of so that we have some sort of unification here. Okay, great. Now this space is the same as this space, is the same as this space, and this space doesn't matter. It's not that important that that space is smaller, because that way at least something is the same. So, also we can probably drag this, whoops, wrong thing. We'll drag this down a little bit. We can have this space here again. Actually, let's bring back that little, yep, that little thing. That way I can measure out that space as well. Come on, okay. Well, that's a large space. Do I really want it to be that far away? I guess it's okay. All right. Yeah, so now we have some uniform thing going on. What bothers me now is this is aligned with the line in the center, whereas we don't see the line in the center, we see the outside. So maybe I will push it in a little. Just a little. I can bring in a guide, although guides are always a little fiddly. Now I'm gonna have to get rid of that guide again. Whoa, hey, now I deleted the whole group. Okay, so now we have everything apart from one thing. We need one more thing, and that is this center line that appears later on this screen. So I want to grab that as well so that we have absolutely everything that's supposed to appear on the screen. So I'm actually going to grab this entire group, including the mask. So we've got the mask here and we have the line. So copy. I'm gonna grab this. Yep. Yeah. Let's put that all. Oh, I grabbed something else. Somehow I didn't grab what I needed. That's strange. Let's go one group out. What is that? What is that? Random. Okay, copy. That's what I want. Also, another thing I just thought of that I could do is just make these locks a little smaller. They are pretty huge. So maybe I can make them smaller from here. And then, okay, first I'll paste this in here. Huge. And then I can maybe make this lock the same size as that lock. So height. And I want it to resize from the left center. Did I get the width or the height? I don't remember. Oops. Why? Okay, I'm getting the height. Okay. Now this space also looks way closer to what we had over here. Gonna do that again. I'm going to remove this frame. I'm just going to... Yeah, we can go a little further with this. Now the space is almost the same, so that's cool. We can go with that. Can nudge this in a little bit just to... Now this needs to... Oh, wait. This needs to be a group first of all. Sometimes I feel like I'm grouping too much, but it's okay. All right. Okay. Now we've got everything that we need for the final screen of this. So now what I can do is I can actually grab this. I don't need to grab anything. So I've got the whole screen, which means now I can duplicate it for the other screens and just remove stuff. Yeah, there is some spam on Twitch. I can block the spam on the restream, but I can't. I'd have to go to the Twitch platform to actually block it on Twitch. So, and there's no way for me to block out those spammers either. Hi Pascal, thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, there's no way for me to block out the spam because they use all kinds of, I mean, it's a bot, so they try to avoid any kind of, you know, blocked words that I might have. Okay, and we have this little dude with the ladder, which I could also group. And I want this dude to be on the other side now. So let's... where is the center of this? Damn it. Okay, I need this, the center mark again. So I'm going into my artboard options and I'm going to put the center mark here because I want to flip this along the center of this artboard. So that now this little dude is on the other side. And what I'm going to do here as well, I'm going to add the same dude with the ladder. Gonna remove this ladder. Ooh, keep copying something else. I don't know what I keep doing. I keep pressing something different. Here, see, I keep making these like things. I don't know what I keep doing. Okay. All right. So now we are cooking with fire. So this little dude is coming up, but I actually want him to be lower on the ladder and like climb up later on. And okay, now we have everything set up. Now I can get rid of this. Sure, let's group this again. I have like a million groups. But at least I can then just, you know, grab that group and just copy it over here. I think I have everything, right? For this scene. Oh, one more thing. This, the password. It's the last thing I need. Need the password. Ah, yeah, 1 million groups. Oh my god. Okay, let's make the password smaller and shorter. Maybe by 1 or 2. Because then I can also make it a little larger and just center it in this frame. Okay, great. Oh no, no, it's missing out of that one. Okay. Let's copy this dude. I'll ungroup that. So I think now this text is probably in a double group. Let's check. Yep, let's bring that out. Save! Never forget to save. I just saw your question, Pascal. Yes, I have heard from the school in England and they decided to go in a different direction. So I will not be an animation teacher in an English university, unfortunately. Would have been nice, but, you know, I don't have any formal teaching experience. I have online classroom experience and workshop experience and presentation experience, but I don't have any formal lecturing experience. I guess they were just more qualified candidates. But that's okay. There'll be other opportunities. Plus I like what I'm doing, so. Okay. Now I think I have everything. Now I can add the changes. Oops. One group out. So now this dude is like arriving here. And he's like trying to get in. And now I can hide all of the things that I don't want to show in these other screens. Haha, thanks, Pascal. That's really sweet of you. Well, you know, we all have different experiences. This is in a double group. Do I want this to be another? Why is this in a double group? I hope I'm not gonna break anything by pulling this out. So basically, I don't want this here yet. The only thing I don't like about this screen is, well, maybe I can just have that appear later on. Let's see. Yeah, let's have this and the code and the field, the text field. Ah, yeah, this is the text field. So group that. Let's just have that appear later because right now it's looking a little messy. And where's the card? This is the card. Okay. So right now he's just coming onto the screen and he's like, I want to hack this thing. And then we see the lock coming up. Wait, the lock. I think the lock was already on this one. Okay, the lock was already on this one. So we see the lock on this one. So the lock is here. Meh, nope, cannot enter. And now on this one, we have the blue lock. And we have the other lock coming up. And this one will be smaller. So that I'll just create duplicate. So it's like I'm symbolizing the animation of this lock coming up. And then copy, paste. Now we see the lock fully engaged. The dude is falling off the ladder. And then he's gone. And then we can still zoom into the screen. So now we can zoom into the screen here. Ah, I cannot see the... What have I done? Whoops, went into break. I cannot see my controls for this, which is a little annoying. I pressed something and I hid something and I don't know how and what. Damn it. Okay. Has to be some of these controls here. Show bounding box. Yes, there we go. So what's the shortcut for that? Control Shift B. Okay. All right. So now we're going to zoom into this screen. Oops, I have a double monitor here. What is this thing behind here? Let's get rid of that. No. Okay. So now we're gonna zoom into the screen. Oops, now we have this coming through on the other side. Okay, I'll just make it as large as that. And now we're here. And We don't need this anymore because we actually have everything we need right here. So now I'm going to... I didn't realize that the monitor... I need to sneeze. Excuse me. Yeah, I grouped the monitor on its own, in its own little group. Okay, so now I want to hide the monitor and I want to group. Well, I want to frame it in such a way. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna, for this one, I am going to just delete the monitor. And I'm just going to apply what I need to this group, because otherwise it's going to get a little too complicated trying to align things with the monitor hidden away. So, it still has some sort of background here. Okay, there we go. Now I would like to center this and actually not center it, not really. Make it a little smaller. And now I want to unhide, what is this? Oh, I see, yes. I'm going to remove that. I'm going to unhide this. I'm gonna hide this. I'm gonna make this smaller. Whoops, nope, like this. So I'm like trying to show how this will pop up and stuff. And I will make this smaller too. And I will have this card. Yeah, I will have this. Oh, okay, I'll take this card out of this for now. Out of the clipping group. Maybe it just passes over this this path. Okay, let me undo for a second. And maybe we just don't see that. This card passes over it. We don't see this. So they've now acquired credential access. Now the card is here. And we'll make this smaller. So it's like just appearing. And we'll put this back behind the mask. Or maybe I'll just, just indicate that it's like rotating. And maybe we don't show this just yet. And at this point we do see this, but we don't see the code yet. And we do see this. Yep. And this actually needs to be above that for this to work. And maybe the card is just a little further here. Whoa, hey, no, I just want to move the card. So something like this. And then the card gets inserted. And maybe at this point we do want to center it to the frame because the text disappears. So at this point, we want the card to be going into the slot that is now okay. And now, of course, I changed the width of this, so it's not the same as before, but it's okay. And the card goes inside. And now we have the access code as well. Like that. And the mouse is back. Where is the mouse? Here. All right. So at this point, all of this is hidden away. So here we don't see the card yet. Oh my god, so many groups. And where is this little field? So we don't see this, we don't see this, we don't see this. Maybe we don't see this either. So as it climbs, it doesn't see any of it. And at this point, wait, where are we? Yeah, okay. Now we want this guy to have climbed to the top already. And I want to hide the things we don't see yet. So the things we don't see yet is this. I want a duplicate. And it's just a smaller version, so it's just popping up. We don't want the mouse. We don't want this and this. I'd like to group that behind the card. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. Okay. Oh, and I don't want to see the access. Which screen is this? So many screens. It's this one. We hide the access. And the mouse off of this one. If you highlight an object, I'm now using the group selection tool, and I can highlight the object. You can see a little square in the layers panel, and that way you can like find where this little object is in which of these groups. And now we have one cohesive screen. So we have the resource dev guy coming up. He's trying to hide himself. But actually what happens is that a hacker would delete the access logs. And now I have to go from that screen to that screen. Oh yeah, right. On this screen, we are actually supposed to see... You know what I'm gonna do is... I'm going to grab this screen because it's actually one entire scene. So I'm gonna grab this whole screen and I'm gonna put it on this graphic as well. So then this very first graphic has everything. Yeah. What is this? What is this, I wonder? Oh yeah, it's the small version of that. Okay. Okay, and that's the mouse, which we don't see at this point. Okay. All right. So we've got this screen. Whoops. We've got this screen. We've got this screen. No, this is more than that screen. Okay, so that needs to go in here then. But it doesn't have the log files. I guess it wasn't grouped together, so I'm gonna have to go back and get these little lines to be on that screen as well. So what I want is, yep, this blend thing and this group to be one. So I actually want all of that. I'm gonna go in here. And then I'm gonna hide it because this log screen is getting smaller to reveal the other screen behind it, and actually that makes me realize that the screen actually needs to be smaller, but that's fine. I can adjust that in the final scenes. Okay, so let's start again. So this hacker masks himself to get through to your system, but actually, or when he leaves no trace, but what that actually means is he deletes the access logs. Oh. Whoops, I went to the very last page. But he needs privilege acceleration. Privilege what? Acceleration? Escalation. To get to a higher place. To more important files, basically. But there might be system admin level and system level privileges that he needs. So he fails in his attack because he needs credential access first, or they. Doesn't need to be a he. He inserts the credential access, now has the password and can access. Then he discovers, or they discover, more or all the machines on the same network, if this is a company, for example. And they do these 3 moves in various combinations. Then they'll try and command and control. So it's like an automatic hack, so they don't have to do this manually every time. And they'll gather the documents, take them away out of the company. And then, but some hackers try and do damage, delete files, set the whole place on fire, basically. And then we're at the last scene where Andy will be talking about the framework again. So I think that's way more unified now, this scene with the little guy climbing up and the logs coming in. I think that's way nicer, that we don't have multiple frames, multiple screens coming up. It's just that one screen, all of the information is there, and it continues onto this part. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna leave it there. I think I managed to make a few changes to unify this a little bit more. So we've done a lot of work on this storyboard. I think it's pretty much at a finished stage, which I'm really happy about. The next time, all I really want to do is kind of unify the first storyboard a little bit. So there are just a few scenes like this last scene, which is still very, very busy. I'd like to unify that a little bit. I'd like to make this scene with the framework a little bit more clear so that Andy can visualize what I'm thinking. And I actually would like to add the CVE, common vulnerabilities and exposures database. I would actually like to add at least the what is it that I'm trying to say? The acronym CVE, I'd like to add this to the center dot so it's a little bit more obvious. Actually, that's something we can do now. Why not? I'll try and see if I can do that now. So basically what I want is I want to move all of these further out. Actually, this can stay there. This can also stay there. So what I would like is this to, instead of being a dot, whoops, that's the wrong ones. And now I want text in here, CVE, and I want to use the this text. Oh my god, it's humongous. But obviously much smaller. And that way, still smaller than that. Okay. And maybe I don't want this to be the blue, actually. Maybe I want this to be... this one? I don't know if that's too much now. It's also a very small little dot. I can make it bigger, maybe. Okay, let's see. So let's group that, and I'll align it with this, and I'll align it with this. I think that's already aligned. Okay. And then I can move this back a little bit. I want to give this a little bit of space though. So I actually probably do want to move this and this and this over a little bit. Probably this too. Oh no, that was wrong. I want to move all of this and this, basically. Let's see. Still not moving correctly, goddammit. Yep, okay, like that. But actually, move this back. That way they're not so close to each other. Okay, great. And now I can make this hexagon a little wider. So, yep, let's go in here. And let's just make this wider. How's that? So that way, so it would probably be like, let's say this large. I can probably make it larger though. I wonder, yeah, okay, I can definitely make it larger than this. I can make the inner hexagon. Oh, it's already, they're already the same size. I can make it a little larger even. So it just takes a little bit more, it takes up a little bit more space. So let's say it takes up the same width as this. I think that way this won't look as small, even though it isn't small, but it appears that way because it's not as wide as the browser frame, window frame thing. I'm gonna have to go into this group, even though I'm gonna see very little once I do, but okay. So I think it's gonna look better if it's like this. And then I can adjust. I can remove this, yep. And then I can go in here and I can, I want to align this with this. So it needs to be there. So I'm just gonna lock that. I'm going to highlight the, oh no, I'm gonna have to lock that too. I'm going to highlight, no, I'm gonna have to go with the regular selection tool, and let's see what I'm gonna take with me. I think I'm gonna have to take all of this and this too. So let's see. Oh, missed something there. Okay, let's just grab all of this and not this. Okay, there we go. So So I do feel that some of these need to be realigned. I'll definitely bring this out a little further. Maybe even this one. That way it doesn't take up so much space. And we'll take this out a little bit. And we can take this out a little bit. Okay, and maybe this can go a little further. This too. So now we can space these out a little bit more where I didn't have space before. All right. I don't know if I want to add something here. I could make this one, and then like add a little line here. Now I need to put this back here. That doesn't seem aligned. That's strange. Then we can have another one of these. That looks boring. I don't like that. Because also this one is like super long. Maybe I'll have another one in the center here. Okay, maybe I'll do this differently. Oops. Maybe I want this to go this way. Or, no, changed my mind again. Something like that. Don't like how much space there is here, though. Yeah, okay. Maybe this is fine. Oops, yeah, I just realized it's not supposed to be on top of each other. It's supposed to be like a little space. Okay. How about that? Oh, what did I do? That's what I meant to do. Something like this. And I can even bring this down a little bit. That way I can make this just a tad smaller, bigger, sorry. Because I do feel like this is still a little bit too small, the type. So how about I bring this out? And actually, no, without this, because that actually needs to stay where it is. So I need to bring this out a little bit. And then I need to bring this over a little bit. Yeah, that's better. And then... And now I can make the CVE just a tad larger. Excellent. And maybe I can just make that thing just a bit bigger than the text. I feel like, I'm not sure if this is in the center. I can't tell by looking at it. Let's try and align that. Okay, seems aligned. Okay, how's that? Now we kind of have this CVE thing going on. All right. Now we've got the attack framework. Maybe I don't know if I should add attack here into this screen so that we have this. But I think it's you know, we have this framework thing going on. So it should be recognizable, whereas the CVE we don't see anywhere else apart from here, so maybe that's fine. And then I'll copy this over here. And what I want to do, I don't want to get rid of this just in case I want to bring it back the way it is. In case maybe Andy doesn't like this new version or whatever the reason might be. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in my assets folder. Layer, not folder. And I'm just gonna drag it up here. In case I need it, it's not deleted. I don't have to recreate it because I did make quite a few changes to this. All right, let's save that and let's stop it here for now. Next time I'm gonna do a few more amendments here. For example, I don't want the top line to be this blue color because I actually want the highlights to be blue, because the highlights are like the malicious things that are happening. And right now, the top layer being that highlight blue, which acts in my design as a red, you know, something's happening here. Sometimes it just acts as an accent. Here it acts as an accent, but you know, most of the time I don't want to use the blue unless like something bad is happening. So I want to adjust the colors a little bit. I need to definitely adjust the size of the text here. The headers are way too big. I can definitely make them smaller, more like in the second storyboard. This is the size of them here. And I think this size is big enough. So yeah, those are the few things that I definitely want to implement next time. And yeah, until then, I hope you enjoyed today's stream. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to support me, you can subscribe to this channel, or you can become a patron of mine. Thank you to my current patrons on Patreon. You can find my Ko-fi and my Patreon accounts where you can support me in the description of this video, as well as on screen right here. You can find all of my membership programs there, where you can support me for making live streams and other free content for the internet. And yeah, I stream every Tuesday and Friday. Most of the time this Tuesday didn't work out, but hopefully next Tuesday I'll be streaming again and finishing the storyboard. So if you like that, please join me next time. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter, but Instagram is mostly where I announce my live streams. So if you'd like to be up to date, you can either ring the bell icon on YouTube, or you can follow me on Instagram and be up to date on when I'll be streaming next and what I'll be doing. I also have online classes which you can find on my website, sonjageracsek.me. All of the links again are in the description as well. And you'll also find out through announcements on my social media channels when the next class is coming up. I'm working on it. I am. So yeah, if you'd like to be informed, you can subscribe and follow, or you can also subscribe to the mailing list to get all kinds of updates and goodies from myself. So hope to see you next time, and thanks for joining today. Bye!